What is up, YouTube? My grandma is talking in the background, so if you guys hear, have mercy, have grace on her. Anyways, I guess this is kind of like a part two on the last video. If I were to put a general term over it, I would say that it's about romance. And so last video was about love, and so now I'm gonna talk about crushes. Um, I think that there is something so miserable about having a crush. And oh my gosh, it is so relieving once you either get rejected or once you actually start something with them because, dude, a crush feels like a mix of just illusion, maybe some passion, a lot of the times lust, and it feels so disingenuine. The reason that I say that is because you think about your crushes so much throughout the day. You're fantasizing and you're making up this false perception of who they really are. Think about what a crush is. It's a person that you don't know. These people, a lot of the time, are just people that you see a lot around you. You know, maybe it could be someone at work, maybe it could be someone around school, and you're not necessarily close with them. And so, with this distance, this lack of understanding of their person, you start to make up your own ideas of who they are. You start to idealize this person, which can lead to this like obsession almost. You start thinking about this life that you could have with them. You start thinking about, man, what would happen if we started dating right now? This and that. They're probably going to be such a good boyfriend. Boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. We don't know. We don't know. And recently, I had a crush, and I remember I would constantly be thinking about her, and then I would remember, bro, I have absolutely no idea what sort of person she's like. I have absolutely had zero conversations with this person. I just think that they're attractive. And yet I'm allowing myself to be so infatuated to the point in which I can barely even function normally. And so it's like this. I'm glad to say that I personally don't suffer from limerence, but a lot of people do. And it's almost like suffering. It's almost like suffering. A constant just analyzing your own actions, a constant just like breakdown of your own character, trying to make yourself puffed up in order for this other person to pay you any mind. I think that in and of itself is just so debilitating. Having your own joy, your own happiness be dictated by whether or not the other person gives you attention, or dictated by whether or not they look at you that day or not. And so it gets to a point in which it almost consumes you. At least that's how it gets for me. I don't know about y'all. I hope it doesn't get like that for y'all. I hope that you guys are a lot less, I guess you could say, passionate about love than me. I lied. I actually don't wish that. I just wish that you guys are a lot more reasonable and grounded. There we go. Recently, I've been learning how to do that for myself. And so I think that one of the biggest keys towards not allowing yourself to be just eaten up by your crush is to just realize and remember that you don't know them. How are you going to allow yourself to fantasize an entire life with a person that you still have no contact with? And even when you come to understand this person, even when you come to start knowing this person, stop trying to make this illusion of who you're going to be with. You've got to be very real. You've got to be very raw with your own way of thinking. That way you keep yourself from any disappointment. Disappointment doesn't really come because the person did something inherently wrong. A lot of the times it's just because you made up your own image of a certain person and they just don't act like that image. Is that their fault? A lot of the times it really isn't. Most of the time the blame falls on us for painting them out as this perfect creature, which I'm gonna be honest, nobody on this earth but Jesus is. And so, in that being said, I still think it's very important to allow yourself to have a crush because love is gorgeous and getting to know someone is gorgeous. However, it's a very fine line that you have to balance right on top of between just being completely cold and distant with your own feelings and then just completely succumbing to them. And so, I say this to say that I still do have a crush. But I'm kind of just living my life. I'm just working on my passions and I am getting to know them. And so that's been pretty cool, I guess. Feels a lot different. It feels a lot more mature. I'm actually feeling like I'm 18. But I guess that's my thoughts on crushes. I think I'm going to start like actually writing down my thoughts so that I can come to you guys with a little bit more detail. Because I'm going to be honest, I just think of something pops up in my dome, and I'm just like, it's going on to YouTube. And so, I love you guys. Stay awesome. Stay savage. Toodaloo. I got to go to work. Check out my freaking Culver's hat. You're...